We're making mini keto cinnamon rolls with frosting. Let's go. Well, I've been working on this recipe for a few weeks now because a lot of you are asking for cinnamon rolls, and I thought I would start the ball rolling with mini cinnamon rolls. I would say they are 2 to 3 bites. Now, even though these are minis, there is no compromise on taste. You have all the regular and traditional keto cinnamon roll ingredients in here. Also, you have a dough with very little cracking, and we have full disclosure on a naked cinnamon roll, so you can see exactly what it turns out to be, and it's not hidden by all the frosting. The nutritional information and your shopping list is listed in the description box, and let's get into this recipe now. First up, set your oven temperature to 150 degrees Fahrenheit or 75 degrees Celsius. Don't worry about the temperature too much. We're going to switch the oven off when we proof the cinnamon rolls. I have a half a cup of almond milk here, which I've heated to up to 110 degrees Fahrenheit or 42 degrees Celsius, and I'm going to add that straight into my mixing bowl. Next is a 1/4 teaspoon of honey, so the yeast can feed off something. You won't ingest it because the yeast is going to feed off something. And 1 teaspoon of instant dried yeast, and give this a good whisking so everything is incorporated. Cover and let it rest for about 15 minutes. You will see that this combination is wonderful. Your yeast is going to double in size. Just going to set that aside for now. We're going to mix up our dry ingredients now, and in this bowl I have 190 grams or 1.5 cups of CK clean keto flour. I am using half the almond blend and half the chicken blend just because that's my favorite. You can choose. To that, I'm going to add a tablespoon of xanthan gum. That much because you're going to see how beautiful a dough you get, and you can make several things with this dough, not just cinnamon rolls. Next is a 1/4 cup of granulated sweetener because cinnamon rolls are a sweetened bun, aren't they? A teaspoon of salt and a tablespoon of baking powder. And we're going to whisk that all together so everything's well incorporated and that xanthan gum is evenly spread. And now this is our yeast ready, nice and bubbly. To that, add a 1/4 cup of avocado oil and 1 egg at room temperature. I'm going to whisk that together now. This is a 1/2 cup of the dry ingredients that we mixed earlier, and I'm just going to add that as well. Add the dough hook attachment to your mixing machine and let this mix for about 5 minutes on a low speed, about 3. About halfway through, you want to scrape down the sides of the bowl to incorporate all the ingredients. And the reason why we're adding the flour in stages is so that you can get a really smooth dough. The wet ingredients with a little bit of the dry should actually work out all these lumps and get rid of them. Continue mixing for up to 5 minutes. Okay, your mixture is ready when you don't have any lumps. And now you're going to introduce or add another 1/2 cup of your dry ingredients. You can tell that I'm gently introducing the dry ingredients so that we get a very smooth dough. Just scraping down the sides of the bowl once more. Okay, for me this is really smooth, and you can see that it's a thick but very sticky batter. That's what you're looking for. I'm just going to scoop it out so you can see. very sticky. We're getting ready to proof this wet yeast mixture, and now I'm just going to oil a little bowl and dump all of your wet sticky batter into the bowl. And with oiled hands, I'm just going to pat this dough so that it smooths off, and it doesn't have to be perfect. Cover with foil. Turn off your oven. Be nice and warm now. And this is going to proof for 1 to 2 hours, depending on your preference. And look how that has grown so much. The reason this mixture does so well is because this mixture is light and fluffy. And imagine having all the weight of the rest of the dry ingredients into here. It's too much. So this is how we achieve such a fabulous rise. And now we mix this with the dry ingredients. So we just add it all in at once. And it's very jiggly and bubbly, and you can see how the yeast has responded so well to our method. And now we're just going to incorporate all the dry ingredients until we have a ball of dough. Not so sticky this time. Actually, I'm using my machine again just so it's easier and I don't mess my hands like I did when I started. And this is how my dough turns out. It's slightly sticky, yes, but it does form a shape. Add the dough to a sheet of paper, and with oiled hands, just shape the dough into a squarish shape, just getting it ready to roll out. We're going to roll it out between 2 sheets of paper now to about 1/4 inch thickness. I'm just going to tidy these edges, these little cracks, just by pressing in the dough against my hand, and you'll see that it actually does a pretty good job of getting rid of any cracks. I've got it to a 10 by 10 inch square, or 26 by 26 centimeters. You're going to need about 2 tablespoons of soft butter to spread all across the dough. This is a tablespoon of granulated sweetener mixed in with a 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon powder. You can add more if you want to, but I feel like this is enough for this sheet of dough. I have done a very small trim around the edges. As you can see, it's a bit tidy because I want a pretty thumbnail. And now using my paper, I'm going to roll like a Swiss roll. You roll pressing down so that your roll is rolled tight. I don't know how else to explain that, but just press down like I'm doing here, and you should get a really good tension in your roll. And look at that, no cracks in this dough. I'm just preparing to cut my cinnamon rolls, and I'm using a string. So I started off in the middle here like this, and then went to the halfway mark on either side, and then half that as well. And as you can see here, you get 8 cinnamon rolls. Add to a lined baking sheet, giving them some room. Apply toothpicks to the edges, the ends here, because this dough really expands, and that actually starts coming away towards the end of the baking. So you want to secure it so it stays together. Lightly cover with foil, and into the oven it goes. Ta-da! Do let your cinnamon rolls bake for 20 minutes, thereabouts. Mine are ready now. And when you're done baking, do let them cool. While they're cooling, let's make the beautiful frosting. To a bowl, add 40 grams or 2 tablespoons and a teaspoon to a bowl, and I'm going to soften this cream cheese a little. Okay, to that I'm going to add the same amount of cream to the mixture. 1 to 2 tablespoons of powdered sweetener or something that's going to dissolve in your warm mixture, and a dash of vanilla. Whisk that all together. And when it's ready, cover and refrigerate until your cinnamon rolls are ready to frost. And now it's time! The most exciting part is to frost your cinnamon rolls. Remove the toothpicks. And if you want, you can also just drizzle it instead of spreading. Time to sample my ways. Oh my God. Oh, soft in the middle. Tell you what, I had no idea that this was going to taste this good because I've revised this recipe so many times and I'm so happy with this one. It's got a little crust on the outside, slight, and it's really soft on the inside. So I hope you get to try this recipe and make mini cinnamon rolls. Disclaimer, I may or may not come out with large cinnamon rolls. Please let me know if you want a recipe for those. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe and be well.